Let's start today on our mats. Equally balanced between the balls of our feet and our heels, rocking back and forth to establish a nice firm foundation. Feeling all four corners of our feet as we spread our toes wide. Our feet are hip distance apart. Taking a few deep, calming breaths. Nice, natural rhythm. We'll bring our awareness inwards, tapping into our body's language, using our breath as our dialogue. A little 10-minute after work stretch. Placing our palms together at heart center, feeling a mild stretch in our forearms, spreading our fingers nice and wide, palms touch. Our head is over our shoulders, shoulders over our hips, hips are over our knees, knees over our ankles. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Warming up the breath, conditioning the air as the lungs ready it for our blood system. Dropping our right ear to our right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. Inhaling up, we'll switch sides, dropping our left ear to our left shoulder. Going just as far as it needs to today. Keeping a rhythm with our breath, matching one movement per inhale or exhale. Dropping our hands, we're going to do some neck rolls. Dropping our chin to our chest, rotating over to the right side, dropping our head back, over to the left, and down. One more time in this direction. Going only as far as our neck wants to go today. Don't hurry or rush or push anything. Now let's go to the left, reversing the direction. Continuing to breathe in and out solidly. One more time. And inhaling back to center. Let's bring our arms up over our head, clasping our thumbs together, palms together. And as we exhale, let's bend over to the right side like a reed in the wind. Making our bodies flat like they're pressed between two planes of glass. Lifting up and out of the top left shoulder, feeling a stretch all the way down the left side from our foot to our left wrist. Inhaling back up as we switch sides, first centering ourselves, reaching to the heavens, and then dropping over to the left. Making sure that our top shoulder doesn't drop down, keeping them aligned. Flexing our abs and our core to keep our back safe. Keeping that bottom arm straight. Inhaling back up. Exhale as we drop our hands. And now coming into a chest expansion, we'll reach behind us, clasping our fingers together. And if we're a little too stiff for that, we can just hold our hands together, imagining like we're pressing a ball in between them. Opening up our shoulders as we look up towards the sky in a chest expansion as we continue to breathe. Keeping our core strong to protect our spine. And let's bend our knees as we hinge from the hips, coming into a forward fold chest expansion. Keeping a nice micro bend in our knees as we let our hamstrings warm up. Inhaling once more as we drop our hands to our hips first before we release them. And now Rotating up from their hips, hinging back into a standing position. We're gonna center ourselves once more over our feet. And from here, let's see, what did I write down? We're gonna come into thread the needle, my favorite. Coming into the middle of our mats, let's come into all four pose. All fours with our shoulders over our hands and our hips over our knees. We're going to rotate that right foot back behind us. We can tuck the toes or leave the foot flat as we point our left fingers to the sky, and we'll straighten that left foot, placing the sole of our foot left flat on the mat. We're in basically a kneeling side plank pose. And as we exhale, we're going to drop that left arm in between, stretching our upper body, pointing it to the wall behind us as far as we can. Really getting a good stretch in our upper back. Inhaling back up. Once more, dropping down as we twist and round our upper back, coming in between that right arm and our right thigh. Inhaling back up. And then let's drop this left hand down to the mat, coming back into an all fours position. And now for the other side. We're going to rotate that left leg behind us at a 90-degree angle, pointing our right fingertips to the sky, making a straight line with our arms as we straighten that right leg. The sole of our right foot is on the mat. We're basically forming a straight line all the way from our standing arm, our standing knee, and our standing foot. Now drop that right hand as we exhale, twisting from the upper body, pointing back to the wall behind us. Inhaling back up. Exhaling as we twist, threading the needle. Coming back up into a kneeling side plank. Dropping that right hand down to the mat. Coming into all fours once more. We're going to drop our hips into a child's pose. Extending our arms out. Stretching our shoulders. Widening our knees wide enough so that our hips will drop all the way down to our heels. Coming back up into all fours position. Shoulders over our hands, hips over our knees. We're going to tuck our toes as we lift our hips up into a down dog position, making a V with our bodies. We're going to flatten our backs, keeping a nice micro bend in our legs as we feel the stretch all the way up and down the backs of our legs, pointing the tailbone towards the ceiling. Our hands are shoulder width apart, fingers spread starfish wide. Our ears should be next to our biceps, keeping our backs nice and flat, making a V with our bodies. We're going to come up high on our toes, bending our knees, looking in between our hands, swing our right foot in between into a lunge position, straightening that back leg. And now we're going to drop the heel of our left foot. Our heels are still aligned, left toes pointed at 11 o'clock. Straightening our front leg. We're going to place our right hand against our shin as we open up our body, pointing our left fingers to the sky, creating a straight line with our arms. In this triangle pose, we're feeling a stretch all the way along our left hip. Imagine rolling it up and back. Our bodies are pressed between that plane of glass again, nice and flat. And then we're going to bend that front knee. Inhale as we cartwheel the upper body and arms into a warrior two. Exhale, bringing both of our arms forward, rotating our hips forward, and pointing our hips forward like headlights on a car in Warrior One, keeping that right knee bent. And then stepping up into mountain pose. Inhaling up, arms overhead. Exhaling as we swan dive down into a forward fold. We're gonna step back with the right foot into a lunge position. And now dropping the heel of the right foot. Our right toes are pointed at about 2 o'clock. We're gonna straighten that left leg, placing the back of our left arm against our shin. We're gonna open up our upper body, pointing our right fingertips to the sky. Feeling a great stretch in the right side of our hip. Imagine it rolling up and back. And then exhale as we bend that front knee, rotating the upper body and arms into a warrior two, keeping that front knee aligned over our front ankle. Our shoulders are over our hips. And now rotating forward into a warrior one, maybe stepping that back foot up a little to allow our hips to face forward, keeping the front knee bent. Exhale as we step up into a mountain pose, dropping our arms, coming into the middle of our mat once more. We're gonna sit down, placing our feet out in front of us like a staff position. Crossing our right foot over our left, placing our right foot just on the left side of our left knee. We're going to place our left elbow on the right side of our right knee as we twist around using our right leg, our right arm like a kickstand, rotating our hips first, then our trunk, and finally our shoulders and head last. Remain sitting up nice and tall, using our muscles to hold us here. If we were to remove our arms, we could almost maintain the same position. Continuing to breathe in and out. And then we'll exhale, slowly unwinding, reversing sides. Take our left foot, cross it over, just on the other side of our right knee. Taking our right elbow, left side of our left knee. Using our left arm as a kickstand, continuing to sit up straight as we breathe. We're gonna rotate our hips first, and then our rib cage, and lastly, our shoulders and head. Holding ourselves here with our muscles, not pressing so much with our arms. If we were to remove them, we can still maintain the twist that we're in. And as we exhale slowly, ever so slowly unwind, coming back to center. Sitting up tall as we reach forward for our toes or our shins or ankles, whichever we can reach. Keeping our backs nice and flat. Dropping our heads down as we allow our backs to round. Inhale as we walk our hands up our shins. Coming forward as we cross our feet in front of our hips. We're going to inhale as we sit up tall. Bringing our arms up over our head, lowering our palms to heart center. Thank you. Namaste.